First, hello, I'm John Bachman. In the light of day, Ferguson is starting to add up the damage after a night of violence and fire. At least a dozen buildings burned along with several cars after rioters heard that a grand jury refused to indict Ferguson police officer Darren Wilson for the shooting death of Michael Brown. Some of it spilled into St. Louis, where the mayor condemned all the violence.
The vast majority of people living in our region condemn it as well. And I think the unfortunate part about it is what that violence does is it not only puts a black eye on our community, but it really sets back the cause of social justice.
And this is what parts of Ferguson looked like for much of last night, with firefighters sometimes unable to get to all of the fires. And this is what it sounded like. The St. Louis County Police Chief says he counted over 100 shots fired. Things started to get out of control soon after the announcement of the grand jury's decision. It spent 70 hours over the course of 3 months pouring through the evidence.
We determined that no probable cause exists to file any charge against Officer Wilson and returned a no true bill on each of the 5 indictments.
Well, some of that evidence included these never-before-seen pictures of Officer Wilson's injuries after the attack. He told the grand jury that he shot Brown after a struggle when Brown started to charge at him. All of the evidence considered by the grand jury is being released to the public. In protest, at times, violence sprang up in several cities across the nation, including Oakland, Chicago, and Los Angeles. In New York City, Police Commissioner Bill Bratton was splattered with fake blood during a Ferguson protest last night in Times Square. One person is under arrest for that incident. President Obama headed to Chicago today. He'll be pitching his immigration plan to shield millions of illegal immigrants from deportation at the event late this afternoon. Meantime, in Europe, the Pope also talking about immigration. In his first address to the European Parliament, the Pope demanded that Europe create what he calls a unified and fair immigration policy. He says refugees, need acceptance, assistance, and policies that promote new jobs. And despite the kidnapping and killing of Americans by ISIS, this country still says no to paying ransoms. Peter Kasich, Stephen Sotloff, and Jim Foley have all been killed by that terror group, and the White House is reviewing its policy on how to deal with hostage takers. Meantime, a new Quinnipiac poll says 70% of Americans are against paying ransoms. The White House says it has a ban on ransoms, and that will not change. And Sony apparently has been hacked. Attackers have gotten so far into the systems for Sony's pictures that it's been forced to shut down its network. The hackers are demanding their own ransom, or else they'll release all sorts of information. Sony Pictures says it could take 3 weeks to find and fix the problem. We'll have another Newsmax Now update coming up for you at the bottom of the hour. I'm John Bachman. We'll now send it back to Midpoint with Ed Berliner.